Hello, my loves. Welcome into this full moon in Scorpio lunar eclipse reading for those who have this eclipse in their sixth house, meaning your rising sign is Gemini and or 14 degrees 58 minutes of Scorpio shows up in your sixth house. If you have not already watched the introduction to this reading and you want to learn more about what it is that we're doing here, the link is in the description and popping up on YouTube. So the houses in the Zodiac story represent where things happen in our lives. It's an area of our life that's ruled by the houses, and what goes on in these areas of our chart influence this area of our lives. So the sixth house is the house of health, ruled by the sixth sign of the Zodiac, which is Virgo. It deals with healing, vitality, pets, service, and wellness. So these are all the areas of your life and more that you can expect to experience the impact of this lunar eclipse. Again, eclipse energies will last for 6 months. They're bigger moon cycles, lunar phases that kind of form an arch over the other moon phases that happen in this time frame. And for our intention, we're going to go to the Light Seer Tarot for an affirmation to find out how we can utilize this house and this affirmation to free ourselves from the human condition. Thank you so much. So we are going to go into the reading. If you haven't already closed your eyes, taken a few deep breaths, and opened your heart to receive the guidance most aligned for you at this time, please feel free to do that. You can call on your spiritual support team to be here with you. I just ask that they be here in unconditional love for your highest good and the highest good of all. I take that one. That was... I had to dig for this one. Okay. I'm going to read the affirmation and then show it to you on the screen so you can pause the reading if you are watching the replay. So you can write down the affirmation. The affirmation is, when blinded by the unknown, I can trust myself to move toward the light. Okay. So, when it comes to your health and healing and services, this is a powerful affirmation. You know, this is somebody who cannot see, but is still able to navigate towards the light. So like when you have a blindfold on, you can still kind of see where there's light and where there's dark. Like if someone turned on a light and you had a blindfold on, you could still see that, even though you couldn't see what's around you, and you can move toward that light. That's kind of the energy and message of this card. And especially when it comes to health issues, when it comes to our wellness, when it comes to things that happen physically to us and within our wellness area, we begin to, sometimes we can panic. Sometimes we begin to fear for the worst because there's unknown. Especially when you're experiencing a new health issue that you don't know how to navigate. I'm feeling this specifically for someone that there is a health issue that's coming up for you and you're being guided to navigate the unknown by just following the light. The light is what actually feels light in your body. So our energy has a way bigger impact on our physical beings than we've really been able to understand on a large scale as a collective. And the energy of lightness, feeling light, doing things that help you to feel light, actually has the ability to remove heaviness from your body, from your physical being, just by following the lightness, following love, following what lights you up. Those kinds of things can help you navigate a health situation. And also, if you don't feel like you know what service you're here to offer, follow what feels good, follow what feels light, follow what is calling and pulling and tugging at your soul. And so, in relationship to the human condition and freeing ourselves from the human condition, if this material is hard for you to understand, especially if this material is hard for you to understand, you're invited to just focus on the relief that it does offer you. Okay, the lightness that it brings. Like for me, understanding that humanity on an instinctual level is not like animals. They're not competitive and aggressive instinctually. Humans on an instinctual level are actually cooperative, loving, and selfless. That brings me such a relief. And even though I can't see and understand and know how that's going to play out on a collective level and whether or not humanity will be able to tap into this instinctual nature in time to save us from our destructive, competitive, greedy ways that have been playing out here, I am still focusing on the relief that this understanding brings for me. Oh, it's such a light feeling. It's such a relief. I have been hoping, searching, praying my entire life with a few periods of being completely distracted and not focused on this. But for the most part, I've been focusing on, praying for, calling in healing on at the root level, at the root cause, healing of the root cause of all of the suffering for the human family since I was born. I have felt empathically the suffering of everybody and wanted to dedicate my life to relieving this suffering that I have felt. And I've studied so many different things in the spiritual world, the religious world, the philosophical world, the scientific world, to try to get to the root cause of all of this suffering and create and come up with and develop and utilize a tool to help navigate through this suffering for our species. And I'm mentioning all this to you because this is your house of service. And if you want this service in your life, if you want to offer this service in your life, this understanding is important for that. If you want to offer the kind of healing that I was talking about, if you want to serve humanity in the same way that I was describing, if that resonated with you, my story, this is the area of your life that this reading is talking about, that your service, you're here to serve humanity through offering this understanding, even if, and especially since this card is indicating that you may not fully understand what it is, that humanity is, how this is going to work out, how this you might even not fully understand this information and where it comes from, but you might just feel the relief it offers and want to serve others by offering them that relief. And that is following the light. That is allowing yourself to be pulled towards something that feels lighter, loving, and beautiful to you, and letting it navigate you through any health issues that you're having, but also through any service that you may want to offer. And I'll also add on the health issue that understanding the human condition can resolve health issues that you're experiencing, because there's a lot of trauma that not understanding the human condition has caused us. And when we can release that trauma, we can release the physical manifestations of the energetic hurts, sufferings that we have been suppressing. And again, you might not have the full understanding, and that's okay. This material I've been digesting for 6 to 7 months, and I've actually been blessed with a group that has been willing to meet and discuss this, and a partner who's willing to discuss this with me. So I have been blessed with being able to integrate this material and understand this material on a deep level. But when I first was exposed to it, I was kind of blindfolded like this. I was like, oh, I don't really understand it all. I'm not even sure if I believe it all. I don't even know if I fully understand the concepts, but it does make me feel lighter and give me relief. So I'm just going to keep dissecting it until I fully understand it. Okay, so that's the advice for you, my beautiful Gemini rising, 6th house Scorpios. Let me know how this resonates. Let me know if you have questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.